Welcome back to a daily dose of good news. Today we continue the theme of lost and found that we looked at yesterday. Having spoken two parables about people searching for the one thing that was lost, Jesus now gives a third parable, probably one of his most famous. Let's listen in. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired men have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired men.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. 'Your brother has come,' he replied, 'and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound.' The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, 'Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him.' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.'" Maybe that is a story you are very familiar with. Maybe that's the first time you've heard it. The question I started off with today was, why tell the same sort of story a third time? Look, Jesus, you've already told them about the lost sheep. Then, for those who have no appreciation of shepherding, you relate it to losing a coin. Now, none of us want to lose our money. So why do you need to tell the same story a third time? But is it the same story? Is Jesus getting at the same thing or providing different perspectives? He certainly ends the story in the same way, talking about the son being lost and then found. But the characters in the story play slightly different roles. The son who gets lost. Unlike a coin which might get dropped or misplaced, or a sheep who unknowingly wanders off, this son willfully walks away from his father and home. He abandons them. The father doesn't go looking for the son, unlike the shepherd and the woman yesterday. No, he waits in the house, looking out the window. The onus is on the son to realize just how far he has wandered from the loving arms of his Father, to see his selfish ways, to turn back and to repent. Then the Father will welcome him back with open, loving arms. Maybe you are in the position of the son who is realizing just how far from God you have gone. Rest assured, if you will turn to him, repent of your wrongdoing, he'll be waiting with open arms of love. Jesus' story doesn't stop there though. We have the reaction of the older brother. He has been honouring his father all along, never wandered off, never been selfish. But now his errant younger brother returns and all his senses of fairness and justice are challenged. He loses sight of all that is his and grumbles at his father's mercy and generosity. As a Christian, I know that my hope is in God. My future is secure in him. God has blessed me more immeasurably and in so many ways. I should be secure in all that and free to then turn to those in need of God's mercy and blessing and burn with such a desire for them to come to him. If you haven't already, please turn to God now. See you tomorrow.